No matter who you are or whether you operate to maintain your own lawn or do it professionally, using proper safety practices is so important. That's why today we're going to talk about some basic tips that will help you stay safe. Well, today I'm here with Jeremy Lovett, who's a senior service tech at Exmark. He's been here for 27 years, very impressive. And we're talking about safety. So we know safety is very important to Exmark, and we want to talk about safety in kind of three categories. So that's safety for yourself, safety for the piece of equipment that you're operating, and then safety for the environment. And keeping all three of those areas in check is going to be the best way to operate. So let's talk about safety for ourselves, the operator. What do we need to know, Jeremy?
Well, first of all, when operating any piece of Exmark equipment, we want to make sure we start out with a proper PPE.
Okay.
So we're going to start by having a good quality pair of sunglasses, safety glasses, a good quality pair of earplugs. These engines are very loud, and if you're on them for a very long time, we need to protect our ears. Okay, and then we're going to work down, and we're going to have a nice pair of quality pants, and then finish with a closed shoe.
Okay. Yep. And so even if you had long hair, which I'm not blessed with, you could pull that back in a ponytail. Just thinking about those types of things to keep yourself safe. All right. So next, let's move on to the equipment. What do we need to do? What can we think about before we even operate when we look at a machine to make sure we're staying safe?
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make sure that our ROPS are always up.
Okay, ROPS up.
Accompany that with the seat belt. So if you're in the seat mowing, the seat belt needs to be attached as well. Okay, and then we're going to make sure that we have the proper tire pressure. We're going to make sure that our discharge chute is always down, because it's easy to flip that thing up, maybe to go around a tree, get next to a fence or something like that, and you may forget to put that down. So we always recommend that's down. With the blade tip speed that Exmark runs and that excess of 18.5, things, if they get out of that deck, will project a long ways.
Okay.
And then we also want to make sure that all of our belt guards and everything are in place.
Okay.
And then we want to make sure that our steering is working correctly, so we don't get that machine out there and we go to steer, it speeds, and all of a sudden we have an issue.
Yeah. And so you mentioned really some of those things, especially like the deck chute. Want to have that down, and that really leads into the environment that we're operating in. So thinking about the environment, what do we need to know to keep others safe? I mean, the environment can change quickly. Kids that weren't outside when you started are out now. What else? What do we need to know about the environment?
Well, first of all, I mean, most of us get very comfortable when we're mowing our property. You know, we mow it over and over. We think that, you know, it's going to be the same every time. And like you mentioned, I mean, it could have been something gets left in the yard. So it's a good practice to always go out, walk the area that you're going to mow, make sure that you're picking up any large sticks or any toys that might be left out, those types of things, before we jump in the machine and we start to mow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, how about distractions? Are distractions an issue? I know they have been for me. If you start listening to something, that can take your eyes and ears off of what's happening.
Absolutely. I mean, we always have to be focused when we're mowing, you know, especially if somebody comes up to approach you or anything. We always want to shut those blades off when somebody's in the area.
Awesome, Jeremy. Thank you. That is some great tips to be able to keep ourselves safe. And we want to think about those in those three categories: yourself, the equipment, and the environment. If we can think about all those, we're really moving forward. And if you need PPE or Exmark original parts, you can talk to your dealer or shop online at exmark.com and get all those things that you need to stay safe.